Hi friends, welcome back. Today, as it is the last day of the year, I was feeling a little nostalgic and I thought that we should just do a quick little video since it's New Year's Eve and honestly, I don't think a lot of us are going to be online today, but for those who are, let's do a little quick walk down 2025 and let's look at all the things I painted this year because I know I've mentioned this recently that I really grew a lot in my art style, in my art ability this year. But I pulled out all the paintings that I did this year. And this year I was smart and I made a list on my phone of what all the paintings were so that when I got to December, I didn't sit there and go, what was I painting in January? I don't remember. And I didn't have to go through my old YouTube videos to figure out what I actually painted this year. So, I have a list, and the first one that I painted this year was this one, which I think is just crazy. I think I actually started this one late last year, but I finished it this year, and that means it counts in the this year tally. And I love this one. I hadn't actually pulled this one out in a little while. I'm still really proud of how this one turned out. I call this one the Chasm. I want to come up with a better name for it. I think it deserves a cooler name than that. But for the time being, I call it the Chasm. And it's always going to hold a really special place in my heart because, again, this was one of the first paintings where I really did a lot with oil pastels and where I really stretched myself with perspective. And I think this painting really inspired a lot of the paintings I did later in the year, which I think will become more evident as we kind of go through some of the stuff I did later in the year. But this was an awesome, awesome start to 2025. And yeah, this painting this shows my heart was in it this year. Because if this is where I started and the one down here, which I'll show you in a second, is where I ended, it was a good year. Okay, so let's do the second one. Move this over there. Again, I have a list, so I can't mess this up. The next one is also one that I did a little bit of oil pastel on. And then I again worked with perspective on this one, and I did a new little critter, which I'm not going to pick these up and bring them closer to the camera so that you can see them any better. This is more of a, hey, remember when I did this one earlier this year? So this was the next one that I did, and I have yet to name this one. I have this idea in my head that this little quoll is a wizard, but I haven't gone any further with his story in the grand scheme of this world that I've created. This was kind of a one-off, and I love it, and at some point I am going to get back to his story and to making more of this and kind of making this pink cloud up here make a little bit more sense. But this was a really fun piece. I did a lot of color mixing on this one, which I hadn't done a lot of up to this point, and this was a really fun next step in my art journey for this year. Absolutely, absolutely love this one. I may have to find a spot to hang this in my house until it eventually sells because it's just great, let's be honest. Okay. After that, we did this little painting for my cousin and her baby Sailor. And this is one of those that I'm obviously it holds a really special place in my heart because it's for a baby in the family and it's very sweet. Obviously, I still have it. I haven't sent it to my cousin yet. She's going to let me know as soon as they have a space for it and I'll mail it up to them. But for the time being, I get to enjoy it, and I absolutely love this painting. I love the colors in this painting. I just think it turned out super well. And this year, as you know, if you've been following me from the start of the year, I did a lot more where I used the color cubes to figure out how I was going to pair colors and how I was going to make everything kind of mesh together, and figuring out like new ways to play with color. And this was not one that I used the color cubes on. This was one where I pulled paints out of my paint trays, and this is what I came up with. And I just think it turned out absolutely swimmingly. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I really can't wait for Sailor to be old enough to see it and enjoy it, because I hope that she really loves this painting. I know that her mom and I texted for a little bit after I did this, and she loved it. So that makes my little artist heart happy. But this was my third painting of the year. Let's see. The next one I don't actually have. The next one that I did was also one that I did for someone else. It was that square painting that had the big twisty trunk tree with the little owl in it. I did that one for one of my friends who had been having a rough year. She had a couple of surgeries this year, and I had wanted to make something really special for her. So I wasn't able to get that one back for this video, but again, it's with her. It was painted for her, and I know she really loves that painting. I really love that painting. I have yet to actually go to her house to see where she hung it, but I really can't wait to do that. I will probably get to do that before too long here. The next one is this one. And again, I did a bunch of new techniques on this painting, and I think that just makes it a really special piece for me. Again, playing with perspective, playing with different colors, playing with different tones, playing with all sorts of techniques that I don't use a whole lot. This painting was a massive stretch for me, and I just had a blast working on this thing. This was one I think I did a pretty long series with this one, and I just had so much fun on this piece. I really want to do more with like the glass pieces. I want to do more perspective work. I really enjoy playing with perspective. I don't like perspective when it comes to man-made things. I think that's why I don't do a lot of buildings or cityscapes, anything like that. I don't enjoy those. I think those are really a pain in the butt. However, doing perspective with landscapes, I find really interesting. I find that to be a lot more fun and the kind of challenge that I enjoy instead of absolutely hate. So that was our next one. The next one, I call this one Starting Anew, because if you've watched the channel for a little bit, you know that I started this one last year. It kind of freaked me out, and I turned it to face the wall for a long time. And then this year I got the gumption and I got the idea and the spark to really finish it and turn it into something totally different from what I originally had in mind. But I adore this piece. I actually don't know if this is one that I'll be able to sell the original of, because this one is really, really special to me personally. This is probably going to be just for the sentimentality of it, and for how long it hung over me, and then for how much fun I had finally putting it together and finishing it. I don't know if this is one that I could, in my heart, actually get rid of. I will obviously do prints of it at some point, but I think this one kind of just deserves a place in my house. Sorry, I have a list open on my phone, which is over there, so I'm going to have to tap that occasionally to keep it from falling asleep. Okay, what's our next one? Ooh, our next one, this is one of those paintings that I did as I call it, by the seat of my pants. I had an idea. I think I was in the middle actually of doing a different painting. I think I was doing that last one. And I just wanted to work on something different. I wanted to do something quick, something fun, something by the seat of my pants. And I threw this one together in a couple of hours and I love it. I think that this turned out so beautifully. And I want to do more starscape stuff like this where you've got that kind of galaxy style, almost nebula style pinks in the sky. I think those are just so pretty and I do want to do more like this. This one was really fun to just throw together and get it done in a couple of hours. Those are just, it's kind of a blast to get to do that. I highly recommend just playing every once in a while and coming up with something really fun because whenever I do that, 4 out of 5 times I end up with a painting I really like. The other one, I'll paint over it later. It's fine. Y'all, I don't know what I was so proud of myself for my little list of all the paintings I did this year, except that my list didn't have the sea dragon on it. This is arguably one of the best paintings I did this year, and somehow I didn't put it on the list. So I'm showing it off now. It's one of my favorites. I think it turned out absolutely beautifully. And this is the one that I took a little break and did the Starry Sky painting. It was this one that I was working on that got a little scary, and I took a break and I did the Starry Night one. That's what I did. It was this one. And I remembered. So here's your little addendum to the video, because I didn't want to leave out one of my favorite paintings. So after that one, and this is where we're getting close to present day, after that one I did this little badger, which again, this one is going to be a gift for some friends of mine. I adore him. He's just so cute. Every time I pull this painting out, I get all happy because he's so cute. I think this is probably one of my best badgers. I've really been getting into doing badgers lately. I think they're really cute, they're really fun, but they are very different from my usual, which is obviously foxes. But they're still a furry woodland creature, so, it works. And this, again, is a style that I don't normally do, where you have kind of the painterly background where there are a bunch of planty shapes, but they're not obvious, and even the planty shapes in the front are not super clear what they are. They're more painterly, they're more left to the imagination, and the thing that you're really going to focus on is the badger. And so not a style I normally do, but came together super, super beautifully, and I love this piece. I'm going to go this way. 2 more. So the next one is also a badger, and is also obviously one that you've already seen on the channel. I actually painted this one with you guys. And again, this is not a perspective that I had ever done before, and I also had never done... I do this technique with the sky a lot, but I had never done it in light tones, and this looks really pretty. I love it. I'm definitely going to use that again in the future. This one was so much fun to paint. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was, from concept to completion, just a blast to put together. I literally think I enjoyed every single step of painting this piece, and it was really fun to actually get to share that with you guys and get to just do a little video where you can see how much fun I'm having being creative. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but this one was really fun, and again, I'm just really proud of how it turned out. I don't do fall scenes a lot, so it's not a color scheme that I do very often. And again, I don't do badgers a whole lot, so that was really fun. And again, with the different perspective, this was just a really, really fun piece for me to do. It was a little bit of a challenge without being too much of a challenge, and super, super fun to play with. I enjoyed this one immensely. And then if you saw my video a few weeks ago, you will know that this was my last painting of the year. I, of course, did do some little ornaments. I did some more little crafty things like that little house we did in the last video. But this is the last full-size painting that I did this year. And as per every single thing I did this year, I just love it. I love seeing how the things that I put a lot of time and effort into, and the things that I did kind of by the seat of my pants, or the things that I did based on a really quick photo that I saw online, I have absolutely loved going back and looking at all of these, I think it's 9 paintings, and seeing how beautiful they look and how good they turned out. Honestly, like this year, I haven't had that thought of maybe I'm not an artist because I'm not selling my stuff yet, or maybe I'm not an artist for whatever other reason, insert weird reason here. This year, looking back on all the stuff that I painted, this is the year that I look back on and I say, I'm an artist. Look at all of this stuff that I made this year. Look at all of these paintings that came out of these hands. That's just, it's so fun, and it has been such a pleasure to share all of them with you guys. If you've been here for 2 months or 5 years, thank you so much for watching my videos. Happy New Year's Eve, and I'll see you in 2026, guys. Bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chill videos with art.